iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the championship points fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we got a good one here. First time ASRC is heading to Lincoln Speedway. Tonight we'll see some action-packed racing with some fairly long, tight straightaways, and then we have two very, very tight turns to try and navigate. And of course, we'll put 22 cars on the main event here tonight. Tonight we have a 60-lap feature event, and we got group qualifying rolling on out. First cars are hitting the track, so let's go down trackside and pick up qualifying efforts. We got the two Mattingly crew out here tonight in our first group, so we'll take a look here at the guy in the points hunt. Trevor Mattingly right now sitting second in points. We'll see what he can do in qualifying here, as he has one lap in, but that first lap definitely going to be slower than what these cars can do. Lap number 2 here as the 13T crosses the start finish line. He will go to the top of the 15.60 at the moment. Also out on track, Stephen Hoffman out here putting in the laps. Hoffman right now goes to the quick time. What can Mattingly do on the final attempt here? Trevor Mattingly takes it on back as we now head to the 86 or 23 in time and scoring, as Stephen Hoffman gets the job done. He goes quick time, so Hoffman right now sitting at the top. Hoffman had a great race Wednesday night with the American Sim Racing Club super late models on the pavement side, actually picking up the win at Richmond. So Hoffman coming off a high there. He's hoping to get it going, as our final car in this group was the 3M of Bobby Manley. Bobby Manley only able to muster at 15.42, so we will have to see if he can improve on that. Next car, we're taking a look at the 46 of Kenny Haight. Hey, out here going down the backstretch. So this first lap does technically count on the time and scoring, so we will have to see how this shakes on out. So you pretty much get 2 full attempts at qualifying, as Kenny Haight lap number 1 in the books. Of course, like I said, first lap, kind of a throwaway lap here at Lincoln where the timing and scoring is at. Ron Hart puts in his first flyer lap of 15.48. Haight will go across the line 15.76. So the 46 going to look for a lot more speed. We take a look now at the 51 machine. Ron Hart does find some more speed as well. Ron Hart goes to P number 2. So a pretty good qualifying effort from the pavement man out here on the dirt side of things. Now we head to last week's winner. He was able to park it on the front stretch last week. Will he go 2 in a row? Yates' final lap there just bumps out Ron Hart for the runner-up of the quick time, as Yates did win last week at Volusia. He's going to try and go 2 for 2 as we get our next group of cars rocking and rolling. We have Dane Lloyd, Aaron Kirby, and Jacob Laster. So we'll take a look now at the number 9 machine here out on track. Part of the HotLap Heros stable, has his teammate out there right in front of him as Laster clicks off his first lap. So does Lloyd. So it's these two and then Aaron Kirby. So we'll see now who has the speed in this group as Jacob Laster looks to cross the line 15.52. The guy we're taking a look at jumps up to 5th. Dan Lloyd with a 15.36. Aaron Kirby with a 15.26. So a great lap from Kirby as Laster will wrap up qualifying here. It looks like he will improve, but only improve up to 6 as Dan Lloyd goes to the top. The number 9 with the quick time at the moment. That is a heck of a qualifying run as we now take a look at the 55 coming down on pit road. Aaron Kirby will bring it home at the moment in P number 4. First car on the track in this group will be Cam Tucker in the number 53 machine. Also in this group we have Michael Blessings and Henry Smith back in action in the 7S. So we'll be sure to cover on him. Glad to see him on back as Cam Tucker, lap number 1, of course. These are the throwaway lap. We'll keep an eye on the 53. One more lap, see where he can go in the timing and scoring. Right now it looks like maybe Henry Smith not put in a time yet, but Cam Tucker puts in a time, a good one at that. He'll jump up to 5th with a 15.28. Then we head to the 01 machine. Michael Blessings here. We'll see where he can do. I think he got the wall last time by. This time by, though, only 11th quick, a 15.54. Then we take a look at the 7S. What can he do on this final lap? Henry Smith looking for some more speed. He'll find some. He will clock in a 15.41, and that'll put him 9th at the moment. Now we head to the guy we got to keep an eye on throughout the rest of the season. 4 races left, including tonight, as Justin Thompson has a 7-point advantage over Trevor Mattingly. We'll see what Thompson can do here. Lap number 1 in the books. We'll keep an eye here for lap number 2 because this is where it counts. Also in this group, we have Tanner Hutchins and Brandon Marlowe, so a pretty quick group. As I don't know if he did or not, but Thompson got very close to the inside wall. If he did hit it, that lap doesn't count. As Thompson able to get the lap included, but not the lap he wanted. As we take a look here at the 37 machine, Brandon Marlowe. Marlowe able to jump up now to 3rd quick. Brandon Marlowe with a great qualifying effort. And of course, the other car in this group was the double OH of Tanner Hutchins. We sadly missed Hutchins there, but he will bring it in the 11th position as they stand. So we now take a look out on track in this group. We have Mark Mitchell, Dave Payton, and Nick Baum. So first, we'll be taking a look at the 07 machine of Mark Mitchell. Mitchell off at turn number 4, lap number 1 in the books, but this is where it ramps on up. These next 2 laps, you got to be absolutely perfect to make it stick, and that's what these drivers are trying to do. Hit their marks and not have any sort of bobble because these times are close. Nick Baum will jump up to P number 10. Mitchell will stay at the bottom with a 15.68, so He's going to try and find some more speed. This driver found some more speed. Dave Payton in the 38 machine. He will jump up to 8th as now Nick Baum all the way up into 4th position. So Baum will bring it down to the pit side, but a great qualifying effort for the 02 machine of Baum. He'll be sitting pretty there. Our next group, we got Jason Crowd, Chuck Darling, and Clay Atwood out here. As we now take a look at the 111 machine of Atwood, he'll get this thing wound on up, and we'll see what Clay Atwood could do. I believe last week Atwood had a very solid qualifying effort. We'll see if he can repeat that here at Lincoln. Puts it right up on the cushion there through 3 and 4, try and get as much as a run to where he takes the time at the start finish line. The 111 on the clock officially. We'll see where he can go as Clay Atwood. That's looking like a pretty good lap. These runs later in the run, though, going to be very hard to get up to Dan Lloyd's 15.16. Atwood will go inside the invert. He'll put it in P number 12, lap number 1. We now take a look at the 88 North Side Towing dead short wiring machine being piloted by Chuck Darling. Darling lap number 1, not what he wanted, 15.71. We'll see if he can find some more speed as Darling crosses the start finish line and looks like will not. Then the 23 of Jason Crow looks like will end up in the 14th position. His best time, a 15.34. So a pretty solid effort from the 27 machine. As now we take a look at Jordan Tucker, the brother of Cam Tucker. At the start finish line, this is where the times matter from here. He'll run the top side in 1 and 2. We'll see how that works out for the 66 machine. Was he able to get in the throttle where he wanted? Looked like maybe a little bit of a bobble, but Jordan Tucker at the start finish line will go to, he actually stay at the bottom. So he's going to look for some more speed here tonight. Also in this group, we got Jacob Smith and Joseph Grandy, as it looks like Smith already done in qualifying. So Smith looks like he'll qualify 16th. He'll be right on the edge. And then Joseph Grandy will be 21st quick. So Grandy's going to have some work cut out for him by the time it comes heat racing action, as we get our next group of cars rocking and rolling. The first car out on track here, the number 27 machine of Cade Gailey. We have definitely seen some fall off here tonight with this final qualifying. These cars definitely slowing down on the pace, so these guys can only hope to at least get into the invert, as Gailey will look for some speed here on this lap. We'll see what he can do, as Nolan Hodgins will cross the start finish line, go up to 25th, so he's going to try and find some more speed in the 12th. Cade Gailey only 23rd quick, as we take a look at Hodgins' first appearance here in the ASRC Dirt Late Models, and he's hoping to make a big impact. Also, first time for this guy as well. Ethan Bryant out here, and part of the HotLap Heros stable, so these guys getting another driver. As Bryant looking for some speed, he will just miss the invert. He will go to 17th quick, so Jacob Smith has to only wait for one more car, and that is the 240 of Zach Nichols. Nichols' last car on out, missed the driver's meeting, so he doesn't get a pill draw. We'll see what he can do. This guy is good in anything you throw him in, especially on the sim side of things. Been having a blast racing against him on the pavement side in the Pavement Super Late Model Series, and we'll see what he can do here on the dirt tonight. As Nichols lap number 1, of course, the throwaway lap, lap number 2. This is where it's gonna matter for the 240. Out here repping the all black. He's looking for some sponsorship. I know he has some on the pavement side. Hopefully he can get that transferred over to the dirt, as lap number 1 good enough for a 15.61. That only puts him 25th quick. So Nichols gonna try and find some more speed here off of turn number 4, and Zach Nichols will hit the timing stripe and jump up only to 21st quick. So it will be Dan Lloyd out there tonight picking up the quick time for the HotLap Heros gang, and he will be the quick time. So congrats to Dane there. Stephen Hoffman, a solid effort there in second, but we'll have to see how this shakes on out as we get ready for heat racing action here tonight at the Lincoln Speedway. And of course, these heat races being brought to you by some of our sponsors, because heat race number 1, as you can see in the top left of your screen, is brought to you by FMS Rapid Graphixs. FMS Rapid Graphixs offers vinyl, banner, signs, and other marketing solutions, including virtual and real-world wraps and design services. Find FMS Rapid Graphixs on Facebook. And in this group, do we have one? I believe we do. Starting outside front row, Cam Tucker repping a FMS Rapid Graphixs machine. As we get them rocking and rolling out on track, Ron the Hitman Hart leading the field to green flag, in the 51 machine. On his outside will be the 53 of Cam Tucker. Row number 2 on the inside will be the 02 of Nick Baum. And to his outside will be quick time qualifier Dan Lloyd in the 9. Row number 3 rolling off in the 5th position will be the 51 or the 151 of Jacob Laster. And to his outside, one of his teammates, it is Jacob Smith in the 888. Row number 4 will be made up of Jordan Tucker in the 66, and to his outside, the 27 of Cade Gailey. Then we head to our last row. Michael Blessings in the 01 will roll off 9, with Nolan Hodgins in the 12 rolling off 10. So we get ready to rock and roll. Pace truck already off the racing surface. And through turns 3 and 4, Ron Hart on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing action in FMS Rapid Graphixs heat race number 1. Right now, Nick Baum already on the quick charge. He will go to the inside. He'll get a piece of the inside wall. Baum will go around in front of the field. Everyone tries to make evasive maneuvers, but I believe Jacob Laster getting a piece of that. But wow, that started off very quickly here tonight, as we saw this track very tight. I said it in the pre-race, and heat race number 1 already showing us the reason why, as here in the replay, Baum will get a piece of that inside wall here and just tags it, gets clipped by Cam Tucker, and then Jacob Laster, having nowhere to go, will hit the side of the 02 machine. And that is a tough break for Baum, because like I was just saying, folks, he was making his way through the field very quickly, and that will have some heavy front end damage to the 02. You got to wonder, how will that affect the handling here tonight for Baum? Luckily for him, it's only a heat race, so he can still have time to improve his night. But a tough break here early. You know, there's a lot of superstition in racing, and you know, it's to start off the night like that usually doesn't bode too well, as we'll get our first attempt. As we get ready to rock and roll our first iteration tonight of the Delaware double file restart. Ron Hart out in front, and it looks like Cam Tucker will elect the high side. Dan Lloyd will slide up into 3rd, and we go back. Green flag racing action here at Lincoln and FMS Rapid Graphixs heat race number 1. Ron with a good start there. He'll go straight to the top side. Lloyd will slide in front of Cam Tucker. Now Jacob Smith is the guy on the bubble, as Smith couldn't get the front end set there in 3 and 4. So now Smith on the outside looking in the transfer spot. A lot of big names here. A little bit of contact there off in turn number 2 between Jordan Tucker and Cade Gailey. So these guys racing hard here. We will see 5 to go here in heat race number 1. Of course, heat races are 8 laps, last chance qualifiers 12, and then we got our 60 lap main event here tonight. So it looks like Gailey will defend now on Jordan Tucker. We head up a little bit further. Cam Tucker still trying to work over Dan Lloyd for that second position. Ron Hart's loving what he's seeing in his mirror, as this is allowing him to get on away from these two and try and set sail and get out of Dodge. As once again, Dan Lloyd trying to fight back on Cam Tucker. These guys duking it on out. That time Lloyd a little bit out of groove, let's say, there in 3 and 4. Had to check up, not get the inside wall that time. A little bit of over rotation at the apex. So Dan Lloyd maybe trying to find out what works and what doesn't, as side by side for the last transfer spot. Who's got it? It's Smith versus Laster. It looks like one car hit the inside wall there. I think that was Jordan Tucker, and that it is. Jordan Tucker will go to the bottom of the standings, but off of turn number 4, Ron Hart's going to pick up the heat win, but Jacob Smith's going to lock himself in. He will finish 4th in the transfer and take that away from Jacob Laster. But Ron Hart getting the job done here in heat race number 1. He'll lead the field to the green flag when it comes feature time. As we get ready to head on over to heat race number 2 here tonight. And heat race number 2 is being brought to you by the American All-Star Crate Late Model Series. The Mid-South's most prestigious pro late model series is the American All-Stars, racing in Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, and more. Find an event near you. And like I said, folks, with it being now the off season, be sure to stay tuned to their social media and see about the 2024 schedule, as we wait here, I believe, for one car to hit the grid, and we'll run through tonight's starting order for the American All-Star Crate Late Model Series Heat Race number 2. Trevor Mattingly in the 13T will roll the invert pretty well once again and start on the pole. Then his points battle, points rival, whoever he's racing in the points, is starting to his outside. Justin Thompson in the 98T will roll off second. So it's going to be a fun heat race to watch these two duke it out. Row number 2, Shane Yates, last week winner, will roll off third, with Stephen Hoffman rolling off in 4th with the quick time here in this group of drivers. P number 5 will go to the 27 of Jason Crow, with 6 going to the 28 or the 76B of Ethan Bryan. 7th is Bobby Manley in the 3M, with Kenny Haight in the 46 rolling off 8th. And then starting shotgun in heat race number 2 will be the 07 machine of Mark Mitchell. So that will do it here for our starting lineup, as the field gets the 1 to go signal. Trevor Mattingly versus Justin Thompson. We'll keep an eye on these two all night long, as the points battle was halved after last week. Evolution went into that night with a 14-point difference, came out of it just with 7, as there are some points here to be had in the heat race. So a lot to be racing for. As Trevor Manley on the loud pedal, we go to green flag racing action, as Shane Yates a little bit out of sorts. He gets that thing rocking and rolling quickly to the top side there in 1 and 2. With Yates doing that, that opens up the door for the 27 of Jason Crow, who's trying to race his way on in right now. Last car in the transfer spot is the 27. Stephen Hoffman going to try and get back in that group. He'll go to the inside of the 27 here in 3 and 4. So Hoffman down low, Crow up top, and right there, Ethan Bryan trying to throw his hat in the mix. Bryan will make it 3 wide down the front stretch. Everyone able to make it on work. That is very surprising, as we see Stephen Hoffman going in the wrong direction here. He'll now jump the cushion and make heavy contact with Kenny Haight on the front stretch there. So it looks like Stephen Hoffman, whatever setup he had him for qualifying, not working here when it comes to race time. Out in front, side by side battle for the race lead. Trevor Mattingly about a half a car advantage over Justin Thompson. These two are doing the dance. They are making it work and making it look pretty. This time they'll be door to door heading into turn 3, and once again off the corner, give the advantage to no one. Once again, dead even. These guys are duking it out and doing it in style. These guys putting on a show. Now the advantage to the 98T. I tell you what, folks, you can't see racing like this too often on iRacing. A little bit of contact down the front stretch, though, as Mattingly will give Thompson a tap. Mattingly will now try and cross him on over. Trevor Mattingly now to the inside of the 98T. Oh man, Thompson had to really jump on up. Trevor Mattingly trying to get as much real estate as he can. He says, how much can I work up this 98T without getting into him? Final lap here. Great battle for the heat number 2 win. Off of turn number 4, it's going to be a drag race, more contact, and it'll go to Justin Thompson out at the start finish line. Ethan Bryant, the last car to make it on in 4th. And I tell you what, that was a great race from the heat race, and I can't wait to see those two race it out for a championship. Heat race number 3 coming to you right now, folks. And heat race number 3 is brought to you by Pay to Win Setups. When you're not racing with the fixed setup, leagues such as ASRC find the consistent speed you need with Pay to Win Setups, specializing in paved and dirt oval setups. Pay to Win also offers coaching and personalized setups. Be sure to check them on out for your open setup needs, as we now will get our Pay to Win Setups starting lineup for heat race number 3. The 111 of Clay Atwood will lead the field to green, and to his outside, Dave Payton in the 38 Pinkerton machine. Row number 2 will have Aaron Kirby in the 55 rolling off 3rd, with Brandon Marlowe in the 37 rolling off 4th. 5th will go to the double OH of Tanner Hutchins, and Henry Smith in the 7S rolling off 6th. 7th will be Zach Nichols in the 240, with Joseph Grandy in the 518 rolling off 8th. And starting shotgun on heat race number 3 will be the 88 of Chuck Darling. So that would do it for the starting lineup here tonight, as the iRacing Pace Truck heads down on pit road. Clay Atwood blowing up the field, getting ready to go, as heat race number 3 is green flag racing here, as Aaron Kirby gets a piece of the wall there. That will hurt his start on the inside lane, but so far everyone kind of bouncing on around. It looks like everyone's still all right at the moment, as Kirby just got the left side of Brandon Marlowe, but it looks like no harm, no foul. Everyone keeps it rocking and rolling here, as we got some close racing there. Tanner Hutchins having to get on out of it to not get in the left rear of that 55 machine, as now Henry Smith trying to tiptoe around the top. We'll see what Smith can do here, as right now no change in the lineup except Brandon Marlowe getting around Aaron Kirby. Kirby right now sits the last transfer driver, so Kirby's gonna have to defend like his life is on it, as up in front Dave Payne, Clay Atwood going side by side. Contact for the race lead, as Dave Payne will park it on the nose of the 111. Now this opens up the door for Brandon Marlowe. Marlowe gonna try and tiptoe around the inside, and we'll see what he can do as Dave Payne tries to defend up top with that little bit of contact there. That bunched up the rest of the field. Now Aaron Kirby trying to work over Clay Atwood, try and get some weight off his shoulders and say, hey, I don't want to be that last transfer car, as now we see a lot of side-by-side racing action here tonight for the lead, for 3rd, for 5th. These guys all 2x2 for pretty much the top 8, as even the battle for 7th side-by-side with Grandy and Henry Smith. So a lot of racing action here tonight. I think we got to jump out this camera here and just marvel at all the racing going on here, as now Zach Nichols trying to race his way to the transfer. This time by, we'll have the white flag. One more lap to go. Nichols will clear Clay Atwood. Atwood tries to slide him on over, but won't be doing. Tanner Hutchins now to the inside of the 111. Can Hutchins get on in there? What does he have in the last corner? Looks like no. But at the line, Dave Payne, Brandon Marlowe. It's going to be Brandon Marlowe by inches. That was a great one there. And it looks like Zach Nichols will be the last transfer from heat race number 3. As it looks like we got a little bit of carnage on the front stretch. So as it looks like we're waiting for maybe one car to get on out there, but this will set us up for heat race number 4. Excuse me, last chance race. If the promoter, you know, if I could say things right, you know, we'd be in a lot better place, figure out what's going on. But last chance race number 1 here tonight is, of course, being brought to you by HotLap Heros. Break the mold of just being some HotLap Hero. Work with drivers like Jacob Laster, Brandon Marlowe, Dan Lloyd, and others to become a true race-winning contender and not just a HotLap Hero. And one of those HotLap Heroes starting on the pole here tonight. Jacob Laster going to lead the field to green here in last chance qualifier number 1. To his outside will be the double OH of Tanner Hutchins. Then rolling off third will be the 3M of Bobby Madley. Fourth will be the 01 of Michael Blessings. Fifth going to Henry Smith in the 7S. Sixth is Stephen Hoffman in the 23. Seventh is Nick Baum in the 02. And eighth will be the 518 machine of Joseph Grandy. Man, a lot of big names here in last chance qualifier number 1, as only the top 5 going to be moving on from there. So it is going to be a dogfight to see which 5 cars will go, because you think, well, for sure the lights of Nick Baum can race his way in there. Then you look at others. Joseph Grandy has a good shot. Stephen Hoffman, second quickest here tonight. So it's going to be a wild one, because off at turn number 4, we go racing in last chance qualifier number 1, being presented by HotLap Heroes. And so far, clean and green through turn number 1. How long does that last? Is Jacob Laster trying to get away from the rest of the field? Tanner Hutchins sits second, Bobby Mattingly in third. But then we head to that transfer spot. We're looking at the 5th place driver right now, the 7S of Henry Smith. But he has 2 very fast guys right on that rear bumper. How is this going to shake out as Blesson still tries to hold off Smith? Nick Baum will get in the back of Smith. He will get Joseph Grandy. Grandy will go up and over, and a big hit for Grandy on the backstretch. It looked like his front steering broke there, and that is a big hit for the 518. And it looks like his night will be over, as we'll try and take a look here, see what happened here down in turns 1 and 2. So we'll see Nick Baum get a pretty good run. He'll go to the top side. Then I don't know if Smith slid up a little trying to work it on through, or I think Nick Baum may have just misjudged the back end of the 7S. And then, oh man, Joseph Grandy again, very lucky that he didn't go up and over, but you can see that right front definitely disconnected and a big impact to that inside wall, and that will probably be the end of the night for the 518, and that is a bummer, as it looks like Nick Baum will take the claim. Henry Smith, a little bit of right front front end damage, let's say, but we'll have to see how that shakes on out for the handling of that race car. As it sits, Stephen Hoffman, last guy to transfer on in the 86. So a lot going on here in last chance qualifier number 1, being presented by HotLap Heroes. Laster out in front. Looks like Tanner Hutchins will take the outside lane. That moves Bobby Madley in the 3M, starting off on the inside lane. Jacob Laster on the loud pedal here. He gets a great restart, able to shoot on out way in front of the field, As we take a look a little bit further back, Michael Blessing's trying to get to the outside of Bobby Manley. Nothing doing there, as now Stephen Hoffman may be hounding the left rear of the 01 machine. Blessings will keep him low off at turn number 4, but they make contact, pretty significant contact there in 1 and 2. That moves Blessings all the way up the racetrack, and now Blessings is under fire for that last transfer spot. Nick Baum on the inside, Michael Blessings up top. It's going to be a barn burning here. What does Baum have on the inside lane? Everyone else, more contact. Now Baum and Blessings get on into it. This time by, we see cross flags, and I don't know how much more Blessings can take with getting used up by people, as this has not been his last chance qualifier that he wanted to see. As now Baum continues to tiptoe on the inside lane. Up in front, we see 3 wide race in action as Stephen Hoffman gets into the door of Bobby Mattingly. Somehow no one got turned there, as Nick Baum and Michael Blessing, still some extracurriculars going on there off at turn number 2. So far it's so good, as now Blessings goes to the inside of Baum. Baum up top, now Blessings down low. Blessings will try and use him on up a little bit. What more does he have, as Blessings now sits on the outside looking in for trying to make the main event here tonight. Out in front, it's still Jacob Laster, Tanner Hutchins second, Stephen Hoffman third, Bobby Manley fourth. Nick Baum right now sits in that 5th position and trying to pull away from the 01. Out in front, side by side, Laster up top, Tanner Hutchins down low, Stephen Hoffman up into 3rd position. So Hoffman figuring this track out for the race conditions. We saw in the heat race him sliding in the wrong direction. Last chance race, Hoffman going in the right direction, as Hoffman gets a little bit of a shot from Bobby Manley there in turns number 1 and 2. Through 3 and 4 for the final time battle for the race lead off of turn number 4. It's going to be Tanner Hutchins getting the win. Bobby Manley will beat Stephen Hoffman, and Nick Baum, the final transfer driver here. Man, that was a crazy one, as we get our final last chance qualifier. Real quick, we didn't have a heat race number 4, so we'll throw them up on screen and give them a shout out. TNT Engines sponsoring heat race number 4. Looking for power in your racing cart? TNT Engines will find the speed in your American Kart Racing Association clone engine, with rebuilds and tunings to the maximum specs while remaining in ACAR rules. Call 270-699-1580, as this is actually our 2nd last chance race here tonight. Once again, top 5 making the big dance, as we'll have to see which of the 5 can make it out of this one. Starting lineup looking like the following: Jason Crow in the 27, leading the field to green, with the other 27 to his outside, Cade Gailey. So a 27 front row lockout here in the final last chance qualifier tonight. Rolling off P number 3 is the 111 of Clay Atwood, with Kenny Hayden in the 46 rolling off 4th. 5th will be the 12 of Nolan Hodgkinson, and Chuck Darling in the 88 rolling off 6th. 7th is Mark Mitchell in the 07, and Jordan Tucker starting shotgun here in the final last chance qualifier. Through 3 and 4, the 27s are on the loud pedal, and we go green flag racing here in the final last chance qualifier. Once again, top 5 making the big dance. Who will those 5 be? So far, top 2 single filed on out. Then our first car on the inside lane will be the 111 of Clay Atwood. Atwood tiptoeing around the bottom. Kenny Haight up on the top side. Final car in is the mellow yellow number 12 machine of Nolan Hodgen. First appearance on the dirt side of things for the 12, and he would love to make a big impression by making the big dance. He has to hang on though for 10 more laps, as Chuck Darling putting the pressure on the 12, Nolan Hodgins will jump the cushion big time. That opens up the door for Chuck Darling. Darling will tiptoe around the bottom. Hodgins trying to keep his foot in it up top. Here comes Jordan Tucker. Jordan Tucker now trying to throw his hat in the mix as Chuck Darling will go around off the nose of Nolan Hodgins. We stay green somehow as Darling gets that car rolling. As now, oh man, Jordan Tucker goes on around a little bit later, so I got to figure out what happened to the 66 as we're seeing those other cars get up to speed. So here's the initial contact between Chuck Darling and Nolan Hodgins as everyone gets it rolling there. But here in 1 and 2, let's see what happened as Jordan Tucker will go to the inside and clip the wall. He'll slide up and just make contact with Nolan Hodgins. So Jordan Tucker maybe didn't have the right line there into turn number 1. Makes pretty hard contact with the inside wall, tearing off that left front fender. You got to wonder, did he affect the suspension on the 66 machine? So the field slowed for the first time here in last chance qualifier race number 2. Jason Krause still out in front. Cade Gailey second, Clay Atwood third, Kenny Hayford, Nolan Hodgins last car to make it on in as Krause will be by himself out in front. Looks like Cade Gailey will elect the inside lane here on this restart. Alrighty, folks, we get ready to rock and roll as Jason Krause on the loud pedal here. We go back to green flag racing action as Cade Gailey did not get the restart he wanted down low, and more contact as the 12 goes on around. It looked like a big time bottleneck there in 1 and 2 as we try and take a look here and see what happened. Cade Gailey down low. He'll try and slide it in the binder, and Nolan Hodgins just nowhere to go, kind of a sandwich between the 27, him, and Mark Mitchell. So a tough break for the 12 on that restart. So he'll go to the back of the line as we try and get them back under the green flag condition. As it looks like Clay Atwood will take the inside lane. That now moves Cade Gailey up on the top side. Everyone else will file on in. So at the moment now, the 07 of Mark Mitchell is the last guy in as they sit. A lot of racing still left over. We're just under halfway here, and so far under our second yellow flag condition as Jason Krause on the loud pedal here. We try and go back under racing conditions here at Lincoln Speedway for last chance qualifier number 2. So far so good through 1 and 2. We're keeping an eye on this transfer battle here as Jordan Tucker trying to tiptoe around the inside lane. A little bit of a slider line there in 1 and 2 as he throws it in there hard, gets that thing very much yawed, and then tries to get back on the powers. So far making it work pretty good as he tries to get around that 07 for that last transfer spot. Krause out in front, Atwood and Gailey side by side, then Kenny Hayes right there, and then side by side battling for our final transfer spot here tonight. Jordan Tucker lost the front end there at the apex there in 3 and 4, so he's gonna have to try and race in some ground here as he can see the laps getting lower and lower to try and make a move on the 07 machine. Mark Mitchell says, is this race over yet? Can we just call it here? But no, we got popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go in the last chance qualifier. 3 cars going on home. Right now it's Tucker, Darling, and Hodgins. What can Jordan Tucker do here? Because this time by, we get the white flag. 1 more lap to go in the last chance qualifier Tucker will go down below. Mark Mitchell up top of Clay Atwood. This could be enough for the 07 through 3 and 4 for the final time. It looks like they both will make it. Jordan Tucker will not, as Jason Crowell picking up the win here in last chance qualifier number 2. Alrighty, so we head now over to warm-up time. So we're going to be right back after commercial break. We'll talk to our last chance qualifier winners. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with some more racing action. Alrighty, folks, we come back here and trying to dial up our first winner of the last chance qualifiers. That, of course, is the double OH of Tanner Hutchins. Tanner, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I do.
Alrighty, Tanner, so heck of a race in that last chance qualifier number 1. A lot of big names in that one as well. How'd you feel going into that one here tonight?
I really don't know, to be quite honest with you. I mean, hell, it was whoever had the bottom lane had the advantage there and how close you could keep it to the wall.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tanner, you looked pretty sporty there, able to get, I believe it was Jacob Laster right there at the start finish line. I mean, like you said, it seemed like the bottom's where it's at. Is that where you're predicting for this main event here tonight?
I'm really not sure. I mean, it's slicking off, but it looks like the high side is coming in pretty good right now. It may go to the bottom towards the end. I'm just not 100% sure.
And 60 laps around here, you know, a pretty tight and technical track. What could be the game plan for this double H in these 60 coming on up?
Sit back, try and save what tire I can, and just wait and see how it all lays out.
Yep, and we've seen a couple incidents, especially on corner entry, so hopefully you can keep your nose clean because you'll definitely be in the thick of it. I believe rolling off in that 13th position here when it comes feature time.
Yeah, I believe that's what I'm going in. I just got to watch the guy in front of me. Don't run him over.
Yeah, that is the key. It seems like that is easy to do here tonight at Lincoln. But Tanner, before we let you go and get dialed on in for the 60-lap main event, I'm going to hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank real quick that might be watching or some sponsors on the car.
I'd like to thank Bobby and Trevor and Aaron for all the help. Jordan, Cam Tucker. Pretty good little team we've come up with in the past several months here. And I'd like TNT Racing Engines, M&H Tents Rental, T-Mat Speed, and I reckon that's about it.
Alrighty, Tanner. Well, best of luck to you for these 60. Once again, congrats on the last chance win there.
Thank you.
Alrighty, now we'll try and jump to our last chance winner, number 2. Jason, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got a copy.
Alrighty, Jason, picking up the win there in the last chance qualifier number 2. How's this 27 car feeling, and what could be the game plan coming up for these 60 laps?
Man, it's feeling pretty good. I'm just going to kind of peel back here and try to wade through the wrecks and yeah, man, that's about all I can do. Just take advantage of when the mess ups are in front of me.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's going to be a very dicey race. You're going to be in the thick of it, so hopefully you can keep that nose clean here as warm-ups coming to a wrapping on up. What could be the game plan? Well, I think I already asked you that, so Where do you think the line's going to be at? It seemed like the top side, especially in last chance qualifier number 2, seemed to be where it was at.
Yeah, I think it's going to be up top here at the beginning for sure, but it might work its way back down if we'll abuse it enough up there. So I think that'll make for an interesting mid or late race deal.
I agree,
we'll
Jason.
Just have to see how it is.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. Well, we'll let you get rolling here in 1 second, but before we do, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you, and you can thank who you got to thank, either watching at home or anyone on the car here.
Yeah, man, just HotLap Heros, all my buddies over there, and then Marco's Moose Ranch, 10 Tech Guttering, and Crow Trucking. Just thank all them guys.
Alrighty, Jason. Well, once again, congrats on the win there in last chance qualifier number 2,
Right,
and best of luck for the main event here.
Let's go ahead and get them gridded up.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was Jason Crow in the number 27 machine as he sits there out on track, getting ready to rock and roll. So we now head down to our feature time and get things rocking and rolling for 60 laps here tonight at Lincoln Speedway. And I don't know about you guys, but we are pumped up with 22 cars here at Lincoln Speedway. We get ready to rock and roll. So tonight in the starting order, Ron the Hitman Hart in the 51 machine will lead the field to green to his outside. Our points leader, Justin Thompson in the 98T, rolling off second. Rolling off P number 3 will be the 37 of Brandon Marlowe, and to his outside, the 53 of Cam Tucker. 5th will be the 13T of Trevor Madeline, with Dave Payton in the 38 rolling off 6th. 7th is Dan Lloyd with the quick time tonight, and to his outside, last week's winner, Shane Yates in the 11. Rolling off 9th is Aaron Kirby in the 55, and rounding out the top 10 of your starting order will be Jacob Smith. 11th will be the 28 of the Ethan Bryan. 12th will be Zach Nichols in the 240. 13th, our winner in LCQ number 1 is Tanner Hutchins, and to his outside, LCQ number 2 winner Jason Crow. 15th going to the 151 of Jacob Lassler. 16th, Cade Gailey in the 27. 17th, the 3M of Bobby Manley. 18th is Kenny Haight, who actually scratched and will be starting pit side. 19th going to the 23 is Stephen Hoffman. 20th is Mark Mitchell in the 07. 21st is Nick Baum in the 02, and Clay Atwood starting shotgun on the field here tonight as we get ready to rock and roll. Out in front, Ron Hart leading the way over the field as the iRacing pace truck heads down on pit road, and the 60 laps from Lincoln is green flag racing action as the field dives down into turn number 1. So far, everyone able to tiptoe through turns number 1. Out in front, battle for the lead, Ron Hart up top, Justin Thompson to his inside as Thompson gets the advantage there at the start finish line, but will it stay that way? We'll find out here. And now Thompson with the advantage, he'll slide up in front of Hart. So new race leader Justin Thompson going quickly to the point here at Lincoln Speedway. Thompson last week, I believe, finished 4th, but Trevor Manley able to finish with a runner-up spot. So that's how the points got closer this time. Justin Thompson hoping to swing the pendulum in the other direction as he's out in front leading the way. Trevor Manley right now still in that 5th position, running the top side in the tire tracks of Cam Tucker in the 53 machine. And so far they are kind of gridlocked. Further on back, some big time congestion out here. Got some cars either ripping that inside wall or all the way against the top. You can see already Tanner Hutchins a little bit of nose damage on that car. Let's ride on board with Tanner Hutchins here and see how close these drivers are getting to that inside wall. And you can see you can tiptoe right around that thing, but any sort of mistake, we saw it a couple times here already tonight, you get a piece of that inside wall and this car gets heavily damaged, as you can see. Not only that, but then you got to watch out for the guy to your top side down the straightaway. And last time by, Tanner Hutchins' best lap of the night. So even with a lot of cars around him, Tanner Hutchins finding some speed in that 008. So Justin Thompson still leads the way. Now Ron Hart under heavy fire from Brandon Barlow and Cam Tucker right on his back bumper. So far able to hold him on off, but you gotta wonder how much more does Hart have, as he can park it there. But like everyone's thinking, they think it's only a matter of time before this inside lane gets worked on in here tonight, as this top side continues to get blown on off, as it seems like most drivers are up on the top side if they can have clear track around them. A little bit further back here, Jacob Laster trying to work over the 28 or the 76 beyond the car of Ethan Bryan. Bryan down low, Laster up top, then right in front of them, Jason Crow, heat race winner, up to 11th. He's on the outside of Aaron Kirby right there in the 55 machine. Aaron Kirby trying to change his luck, did a whole paint scheme swap and a number change mid-season this year, and so far it looks like it's going a little bit better for Aaron Kirby, but I'm sure he's hoping for a lot more this season. At the moment, it looks like this is probably one of the better battles on the Speedway. Of course, this is a battle for that 11th spot right now. Jason Crow has the advantage up on the top side, but Aaron Kirby keeping him honest on that inside lane. Now maybe though, here comes Jacob Laster on the top side. But no, Kirby still with some good speed down these straightaways, even though that bottom side, that slick is getting wider and wider. One car having some issues. Oh, one car up and over here tonight. Cam Tucker from the 5th inside the top 5, battling for second. Him and Ron Hart, maybe a little bit of contact there off of turn number 4, but then here in turns 1 and 2, looks like Hart tried the slider. Oh, that was a tough one, as Cam Tucker then climbs the wall and then hits the outside wall upside down, and that is a tough break for Cam Tucker, as battling for second position, him and Ron Hart make contact, and that sends the 53 up and over, as it looks like Kenny Haight will get the wave around there. As it sounds like the 53 machine of Cam Tucker not too happy with the 51 out here tonight. It looks like no one tapping on their roof, so looks like the order will stay the same, as that time we get the 2 to go signal. Well, we got a minute of your time, folks. We'll, of course, we'll talk about our feature sponsor. That is, of course, on the top right of your screen. It is Horsepower Happenings. Horsepower Happenings is Michigan's leader for short track racing coverage, with a weekly podcast all year long and social media coverage of select events. Find Horsepower Happenings on any of your favorite streaming services, including their social medias of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As it looks like Ron Hart will elect the top side. That moves Trevor Mattingly up to the inside of row number 3. And I think we got to do it. Let's do a little turn 3. Turn it up here tonight. as we go back racing here, and we'll let the cars do the talking. As we do that, we got a yellow flag right away. We got to see, it looked like Dane Lloyd with the quick time here tonight, definitely facing the wrong direction, so we're gonna try and figure out where that started, but it looks like Dane Lloyd sitting in pits here with some heavy damage. So we're gonna go back to the turn 3 replay here and figure out what happened there in turns 3 and 4. So Lloyd working this inside lane here to the inside of Shane Yates. Now Zach Nichols trying to go to the top side. Then they'll dive it down in turn number 1 and 0. Some teammate action as it looks like Jacob Smith gets in the left rear of the 9. Then Everino tries to go on through. Laster will get in the back of the 27, and a big impact as Bobby Manley gets in the door of Ethan Bryan. Mark Mitchell able to get it woed up enough, but that was about at least 5 different pro late models here tonight getting some sort of damage, as I think some of the biggest damage going to the 3M and the 9 of Dan Lloyd. So it looked like that yellow came around the, I want to say 11th-ish position, so we'll see how this shakes on out. But up in front, we get another attempt at a Delaware double file restart, as it is Justin Thompson out in front. Trevor Mattingly will be up in second. He'll elect the inside lane here. That moves Ron Hart to the top, and everyone else files on in their respective order. Of course, second caution of the night here coming out on lap number 17. Caution laps not counting, so these guys still don't have to worry about losing racing action with yellows as we get ready to rock and roll. Justin Thompson, as I believe we got a extended yellow. It looks like everyone's rocking and rolling, so not sure. As it looks like the field has to, with the yellow flag coming back out, they got to catch the back of the pace car. And I believe this time by, we should be trying to get going back to the 1 to go, as no, the iRacing pace car still has the lights on, so not sure if maybe officials saw some debris on the track and had to clean it on off, but extended yellow here under our second yellow flag of the night. And of course, this season winding on down. Tonight, Lincoln. Then next week, we head to USA. Then the week after that, Linear. Then December 10th, the Dirt Track of Charlotte. Our season finale. We'll wrap it on up and we'll crown another champion of the Dirt Pro Late Models, being presented by Horsepower Happenings and through the American Sim Racing Club. As it looks like we're ready to rock and roll this time. Once again, Justin Thompson out in front, Trevor Manley second, Ron Hart third. Thompson on the loud pedal here, and we go back to green flag racing action. Trevor Manley gets away with a great start here. Looks like everyone through turns 1 and 2 able to get on through. As we take a look here, side-by-side battle, Bobby Manley with Mark Mitchell. Mitchell up top, Bobby Manley down low. As out in front, Trevor Manley trying to rip the lip. He is up on the top side, now goes to the bottom. Justin Thompson will give him a little bit of room, just enough to get a nose on corner entry, but Thompson able to put down the power a little bit better than Trevor Manley. That time, Thompson will go to the top side as well. Battle for third as Brandon Marlowe tries to work over Ron Hart in the 51. Right behind him, Dave Payton up in the top 5, and Zach Nichols. This guy's on a mission. He's up to 6th in the 240, and I don't think he's done yet slicing up through this field. Speaking about slicing through the field, biggest mover at the moment going to the 02 machine of Nick Baum, having to go to the last chance, just racing his way in. Baum up 12 positions from where he started in 21 laps. Baum already inside the top 10. He now got 8th from Jacob Lassiter there. So some intense racing here tonight, as it looks like Hart able to keep the spot from Brandon Marlowe. Further on back, Zach Nichols now working over the 38 of Dave Payton. Payton up top, Nichols down low, and Brandon Marlowe having to be a little bit slow off at turn number 4. This could even open up the door for maybe the 240. Nichols will do just that. He'll get up to the door of Brandon Marlowe. So Zach Nichols going where cars aren't in front of him and making it work, as now Nichols tries to work over Brandon Marlowe for that 4th position. Almost contact there at 1 and 2, as it looks like Nichols will fall into line, maybe try and get some momentum, cool off that right rear if he can on the top side. Further on back, I almost thought we saw some 3-wide racing action between these 3 of Tanner Hutchins, Jason Crow, and Cade Gailey. Hutchins and Crow, of course, their respective last chance qualifier winners. They currently sit right now at the moment 10th and 11th on the racing surface, but out in front it looks like Justin Thompson actually losing the lead to Trevor Mattingly. So Trevor Mattingly out in front here tonight at Lincoln Speedway. Justin Thompson in 2nd, then a pretty substantial gap to Ron Hart in 3rd, Brandon Marlowe 4th, Zach Nichols right now in that 5th position. But this guy, he's sliced it up through the field, now up to P number 6, Nick Baum in the 02 machine, now trying to work over Zach Nichols up top. Man, oh man, some great racing all around the speedway here tonight. Even further on back, we got some wounded cars still racing it on out. That's the 9 machine of Dan Lloyd, and it looks like Cam Tucker able to get back out there on the racing surface. So they got that car flipped back over, said, hey, this thing still rolls, fires on up. Let's see what it can do. As up in front, really close racing there. Zach Nichols trying to maybe get a 2-for-1 on a slider and try and get around both Hart and Marlowe, but wasn't quite able to get enough of a run. So Nichols will go back to behind there, but now we'll try it again as Brandon Marlowe able to get a nose to the top side, contact down the backstretch. Last time by, the leader saw cross flags halfway down, halfway home here tonight at the Lincoln Speedway, and the leaders, the top 2 at least, checked on out over the rest of the field. Then we make up right here some great racing action as these drivers trying to find that speed, hoping this bottom side comes on in, because right now it's a single file train on the top side at the moment at Lincoln. It does look like this bottom side blown on off here, as that slick, that dark shiny dirt getting wider and wider as more and more cars continue to brush off the top layer of dirt. It seems like you either got to be ripping the lip here tonight or really tiptoeing down on that inside lane and then quickly getting back up to the top side. As Zach Nichols maybe had a big run down the front stretch, but nowhere to go, as Nick Baum doing that tiptoeing down low. He's able to get side by side with Nichols. I'm impressed with that 240. He can drive it in here super deep here tonight, jump that cushion about, put that right rear quarter panel on the wall. That time gets a lot of right rear quarter panel on the ball there in 1 and 2, and now we get 3 wide for 3rd position. Brandon Marlowe trying to go on around Nick Baum down low. Marlowe and Nichols big time contact, and somehow we all keep it in the right direction as Nichols will get just enough room up top and will take that spot away from the 37. Nichols once again slaps that wall. You got to be careful, as it looks like one car a little slow there in 1 and 2. Stephen Hoffman having a little bit of an incident. He's able to get that car rolling, but we head back to that battle for third here tonight. These guys getting frustrated, starting to try and figure out what they can possibly do, as Ron Hart has done an awesome job in this third position, able to hold on to it. It's hard, jumps the cushion. He'll get out of sorts, but saved by the bell, as it looks like Tanner Hutchins facing the wrong direction here tonight in turns 1 and 2, and it looks like he will bring out our third yellow flag here. So we'll try and figure out what happened to the double OH machine to bring out this yellow flag in this second half of the race here tonight at Lincoln Speedway. So heading down the front stretch, hits the start finish line, then Tanner Hutchins dives it down to the inside lane, and oh man, looks like almost gets too much rear brake bias. That back end steps on around, and it looks like the 27 of Cade Gailey maybe got into the back of him. Wow, Aaron Kirby doing a great job at some evasive maneuvers to not hit the double OH machine. That could have been a lot worse, but luckily everyone looking past their hood pins. So third caution of the night. Once we go back to green flag racing action, we will have 21 laps left to go here tonight. This is where it gets wild, folks, especially up at front, because now we'll have guys that have to go to the bottom side for this restart, and we'll have to see how they can handle it. Who still has tires? Who's blown them on off? We'll find that out very shortly here as we get ready to choose once again for the Delaware double file restart. Alrighty, folks, it's about to get crazy, as that time we get the 2 to go signal. So yeah, iRacing doing some weird stuff here tonight, making our caution laps very, very long here. Well, we keep the camera on the 98T of Justin Thompson. He can choose either inside or outside. And it looks like if I was a betting man, I would bet Justin Thompson elects the top side if I had to guess. And here at the start finish line, it looks like that's what he'll do. He'll pick the outside. That moves Ron Hart to the inside. Hart was able to defend when he was on the top side. What can he do down low? As Trevor Mattingly looking for his first win this season. I know that came to a shock as many. He hasn't found victory lane. Hoping to do that here at Lincoln. He has 22 laps to try and seal the deal. As Trevor Mattingly on the loud pedal. Ron Hart a little bit of contact with Justin Thompson. This opens up the door for Zach Nichols. Hart able to quickly get to that top side though. Everyone making it through 1 and 2. First car down on this inside lane is the 240 of Zach Nichols. Nichols losing a little bit of ground to Ron Hart. Now Nick Baum will try and cross him on over. So Nichols will go back up to the top side. Baum down low. Nick Baum, one of the best at running through the slick. He's up there with the likes of Trevor Mattingly and Jacob Laster when it comes down to running in that non-preferred groove, as it looks like Zach Nichols will get a piece of the wall. Nick Baum up into P number 4. As Baum gets a piece of the wall, he gets tagged. He's able to keep it rolling, but this checks up the guys right behind him, as here comes Jacob Laster trying to get his name in the mix. A little bit of voice crack on my end there, so as Laster going to the inside, but we have the yellow felt falling out here for the 4th time here. I'm going to try and see where it maybe was out on track, as it looks like it was the 07 of Mark Mitchell. So we're going to try and see what happened to the 01 machine of Mitchell. I believe heading down into turn number 1, Mitchell already having some right front damage to that car, and Mitchell will throw it up on the top side and jump the cushion and make heavy contact with the outside wall. His car almost goes up and over, but a tough break for Mark Mitchell. His night coming to an early end with jumping the cushion. So yeah, a lot to be aware of here at Lincoln. I tell you what, folks, you got that inside wall that you can't drive it in too deep or too low and get a piece of that. You can't drive it in too hard on the top side and jump that cushion, because as Mitchell showed right there, you can make significant contact with that outside wall and your night could come to a early end. As out in front, same order as before. Justin Thompson elects top side, Ron Hart down low, but now Nick Baum restarting on the outside lane. What can he do back there in the 02? Trevor Mattingly once again leading the field to green. Mattingly on the loud pedal. We go back to green flag racing action here at Lincoln. Inside of 20 laps to go. How does this shake on out? Hart looks like he's able to get to the top side. Zach Nichols trying to get around the 51 of Hart. Nick Baum also now going to the inside lane. He will take a look, think better of it to get to the inside of Zach Nichols. Now will do just that. 3 wide for third as Nichols will go back up to the top side. Can Nick Baum get around Ron Hart here? It's a drag race down the front stretch, a little bit of contact. Baum once again down to the inside lane. Ron Hart up top in the 51. Give the advantage to Ron Hart a little bit. Hart will go to the middle. Can Nichols get enough of a run up top? No, he can't. He'll get the door shut on him by Hart. Ron Hart trying out some different lines, a little bit of slider line. Big time hit to the wall. He'll make contact. Baum will get a piece of it. Somehow they keep facing in the right direction. Baum will throw a big slider, go all the way up to the top. That allows Zach Nichols to get to the inside here. So Nichols will try and do the slider. He won't clear. Baum hard in the outside wall here as Nichols right there. Now here comes Shane Yates. Yates to the inside of Zach Nichols. Baum just needs to hit his marks for a couple laps, try and get away from this battle. As now here comes Shane Yates. Yates had a season best, picking up his first win last week. Now trying to get back on the podium for the 2nd week in a row as Yates trying to work over the inside of Zach Nichols. Nichols still ripping this top side in the 240 as looks like Ron Hart able to slide back and hold on to P number 7 here so far. Though this time by at the start finish line, we see 2 open palms from the flag man. 10 laps to go. What does Justin Thompson have left in the tank with Trevor Mattingly? As we'll jump on board with our race leader here and take a look at him looking back at the rest of the field as Mattingly kind of a slider line. Justin Thompson ripping the top. You can hear how smooth Trevor Mattingly is, trying not to break the rear tires, trying not to break any sort of traction, as this time Thompson will try the same line. Makes up a lot of ground on corner entry, but Trevor Mattingly a little bit better on off. This race is far from over, folks. As we get 7 to go, a little bit further on back. Some tight battle in here from around the 12th position as Aaron Kirby almost goes on around. Luckily, everyone able to do some evasive maneuvers and not have anything too crazy. For second, though, Nick Baum kind of catching the leaders. Zach Nichols right there in tow in case the 02 makes a mistake. Brandon Marlowe trying to work over Shane Yates, but we get a yellow flag. Out on track. So our 5th yellow of the night coming with 5 to go, as I believe it may have been the 151 of Jacob Laster. We're going to take a look, see what happened to bring out our 5th yellow flag of the night. So it's Laster and Jason, or excuse me, not Jason Crow. Cade Galeon. Oh, Jacob Laster just on his own, just like Mark Mitchell, jumps the cushion, makes hard contact with the outside wall, rides the fence for a second, but you can see that right front definitely broke on that car, and that is a tough break for Jacob Laster. His night coming to a early end here. So inside of 10 to go, I believe will be a single file restart. Trevor Manley out in front, Justin Thompson second. What does Nick Baum and Zach Nichols have left in the tank? Even Shane Yates back there in 5th. He looked pretty strong there, so it is about to get wild here at Lincoln Speedway for a 5-lap shootout to decide who's parking it on the front stretch. So this time at the stripe, we get the 1 to go signal, and it's time for these drivers. Pull them belts tight one last time. Take a deep breath, because it is about to get wild. Who will be the one to dive it to the inside? Who's putting it up on the cushion and leaving it all on the line? We're about to find out half a track away, as I think we got to go all the way to the top of the press box here and get as wide shot as we can. As Trevor Manley jumps on the loud pedal, we go back to racing action. Looks like those guys, top 3 going to the bottom. First car to the top, Zach Nichols. What kind of run can Nichols get down the back straightaway? So far, he'll get right back to the back bumper of Baum. What can Baum do to get around Justin Thompson here with 4 to go? Once again, it seems like the line is on the inside in 1 and 2, then the top side in 3 and 4. Yates tried to get to the inside of Nichols, nothing doing there, as this time Baum looked to the inside of Justin Thompson, didn't quite have the run. Top 3 very close to each other here. Then in 4th, Zach Nichols, then a little bit of gap to our 5th place driver, Shane Yates. As this time by, we will see popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go at Lincoln Speedway. So it goes Mattingly, Thompson, Baum, the top 4. Then Nichols and Shane Yates, Brandon Marlowe side by side. Though this time for Trevor Mattingly, he'll see the white flag. 1 more lap to go around Lincoln Speedway. What does Nichols have? He'll jump on the high side, jump over the cushion, so he may have lost it there. As off of turn number 4, Trevor Mattingly's going to pick up the win. Justin Thompson's just going to beat Nick Baum by a nose there at the start finish line. And that was a great race there, as top 3 we'll be talking to here in a second. And the first time this season, Trevor Mattingly's going to find victory lane. He's going to do it tonight here at the Lincoln Speedway. Alrighty, folks, we'll be right back after commercial break for some interviews of the top 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the Championship Points Fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Alrighty, folks, we head down to, I guess, technically the infield to talk with some of our drivers here tonight. First driver we'll be chatting with is the O2 machine of Nick Baum. Nick, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I am here.
Alrighty, man. Biggest mover of the night. We'll start with that. How'd you make your way through this field and move up 18 positions from where you started?
Well, I've turned a lot of laps at Lernerville here in the past few months, just running officials and stuff. So I kind of knew what I had to do. It's kind of a tricky track to pass guys. It was a longer race, it was 60 laps, so I knew I had a lot of time and just had to plan my passes and kind of rely on cautions, which we didn't have as many as I thought we would, and it really didn't play to my advantage. So I kind of got a couple lucky spots on a couple cautions, but I was just able to roll past some guys and really be smart. And I just kind of was making it work on the bottom when they were all up there ripping the lip, and I was just be able to get by them and just run a really smart race. And then whenever I was getting by these guys, I could move up. And there towards the end, I feel like I definitely had something for the top two. It's just them guys are racing for points, and I'm kind of a ways back after missing the first 2 weeks. So I figured I'd let them run their race, and I'll just settle with third.
Yeah, very courteous of you, be respectful of, the bigger picture of what's going on there, Nick. But yeah, I was going to say, it seemed like you had some more left in the tank, even with how you were running the bottom all night long. You still had, seemed like some good amount of right rear left if you needed it.
Yeah, I definitely felt it, especially I was kind of like, whenever before we had that last caution, I was kind of struggling a little bit. And I was like, man, my tires are going away after trying to pass them guys in the bottom and just being on the gas, trying to pass them down the straightaway. So I was just going to hold on for third. And then we had that last restart, and I felt like I kind of took off, and I just had some extra traction I found. And I was like, man, I might be able to get to Justin's left rear here. So I don't know. It was definitely a good race. I enjoy that track. I know a lot of people don't, but it's just seems to always be a fun track when you get a good group of guys like this.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is a very technical track. We saw multiple mistakes of guys either clipping that inside wall or jumping that cushion there late in the race and having some big time contact. I mean, how tough was it to hit those precise marks lap after lap?
1 and 2 is definitely really hard to hit, just because you're going so fast down that front straightaway, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, turn. Like there's no really way to get in a consistent groove. You just kind of got to go lap by lap in 1 and 2. But in 3 and 4, it's so hard to miss the top there. In 3 and 4, it's insane. Like you can just run in there wide open 90% of the time and it'll stick. But 1 and 2, if you miss the cushion, now I'm sorry, you're going for a ride. It's not a good sight. So that's kind of why I tried to stay away from it in 1 and 2. It's kind of hurt me in the past in some races. So I was like, just be smooth on the bottom and 1 and 2, and rip it in 3 and 4.
Yeah, I tell you what, Nick, I gotta ask, how'd you rip that bottom so well to make up all those spots from the beginning? Because it seemed like right from the get-go, of course, people were preferring that top, but it seemed like not too many people felt comfortable leaving it. But Nick, you were able to run that middle slick very, very well. I think, like I said during the broadcast even, I think you're definitely up there with the likes of Mattingly and whatnot to hit that slick, and that's very tough to do here on iRacing.
Yeah, I've really been trying to work on my driving here lately, and just been able to work the pedals a little bit better and ride the brake like like some of these guys do, and I feel like I'm getting pretty good at it. It's definitely not perfect yet. You see some of these guys, they go in the corner and they just, to try to get it turned, they slam the brake, but it's just all about being smooth, just riding the brake and getting the car to turn on that right front. And it's just, that's what I was doing. I was doing what they couldn't, and it was working. They were all up there trying to run the top because they weren't comfortable to go down there and run through the slick. And I just, my buddy Chance Carr, he knows how to run the bottom, and I've been kind of learning from him. So that's just what I did, and it seemed to work out.
Yeah, that it did. Nick able to go up 18 positions all the way up into third tonight. So before we let you go and celebrate yet another podium this season, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank to park it here, I guess, in the infield here tonight.
No, I got to thank for sure. I got to thank D1RT. They're behind me 100%. 789 Designs for the wrap. It's a sharp looking car. Klein's Brand Source, Hooker Harness, CC Food Marts, CC Dig by Chance Car. You know, it's a whole bunch of people who helped me go around the track, and I couldn't do it without them. I got Tanner Hutchins, Bobby Mattingly, Aaron Kirby, Trevor Mattingly, all them guys, you know, Justin, everybody. They all helped me out a ton. You for putting on the broadcast. I appreciate it.
All righty, Nick. Well, always good talking with you. Another great run for that O2 machine. So you have yourself a great rest of the night, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All righty, folks. Now we'll talk to our runner-up finisher. He's able to finish second, but that points battle gets a little closer with these two. So we'll talk with Justin Thompson. Justin, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir. Got you.
All righty, Justin. A wild race for sure here tonight. A handful of yellows, but that's kind of to be expected at Lincoln. Tell us how your night went and what'd you think of this race.
Race was fun. Had more fun than the heat race, that's for sure. Tried to put on a good show during that. During the feature, though, you know, all them cautions, they messed with me. I wasn't able to get a good restart, and you know, Trevor got a good jump on that restart that he got by me, and I just, at that point, trying to get back around him. I got a run on him a couple times, and tires just weren't there at that point. We were pretty much equal, and you know, at that point, I was just like, yeah, let's save face tonight, save some points, and just sit here and try to maintain second. And almost threw that away when we were coming to the line. I got into the wall through 3 and 4. Nick was right on me. I could feel him. I could feel Nick being right there on my bumper on that last restart. And, boy, them nerves, I just couldn't shake them.
Yeah, an intense race for you. It seemed like all night long, even up, like you said, to the heat race, you and Trevor Mattingly on the front row, duking it out with a lot on the line, especially as the season's wrapping on down. And like you said, Justin, heck of a race you put on there, and then a heck of a race between you two when it came feature time.
Yes, for me and Trevor, we seem to get along pretty good. We race together pretty good, and you know, we've got a lot of respect for each other. So, I mean, if we didn't have that respect for each other, we wouldn't have been able to put on a show in the heat race like we did.
Yeah, like I said, it's like it was like you guys were dancing out there. That's how good it looked. And I tell you what, like you say, there's not too many people that could do it the way you guys do it. And I give you both a lot of props to do that. And we got to talk big picture, Justin. You mentioned the points a little bit, able to, you know, let's say limit the bleeding as much as you could. Only you lose 1 point here tonight with Trevor picking up the win. So I tell you what, did all you could here tonight, walking away still 6 points to the good with 3 races left. How you feeling, and what's the outlook for the next 3?
Next week I'm going to try to play the invert because I'm not crazy about USA. Kind of hope we get to burn the track in during warm-up some, because 35 laps at USA with the new tire and new track surface model, I don't think we're going to get 2 grooves of racing there until like the last 5 laps, and it's just going to be freight train. So I'm kind of worried about USA, and then the rest of them. I'm looking forward to Charlotte. I always seem to do pretty good at Charlotte. I believe I was in the top 3 on the summer season when we ran Charlotte. I don't remember if I was 2nd or 3rd that night. But you know, that was a good race for me, and I'm looking forward to going back to Charlotte because I typically run pretty good at Charlotte, and hoping we can walk away with a championship. If not, you know, 2nd place, it's not a horrible spot to be in. The points lead, I mean, it's shaping up to be a good race, and you know, me and Trevor, we're definitely going to put on a show for the title for the rest of the season, and I mean, I look forward to doing that as cleanly and respectfully as I can, and you know, I'm just glad we've got somewhere to come race on Sunday nights.
Yeah, I tell you what, Justin, we appreciate you spending your Sunday nights putting on the show for all of us to enjoy. And yeah, I can't wait to see how this points battle shakes on out. Like you said, even, second, whatever in points, to be racing with these type of caliber drivers and, to be even where you are, is a big pat on the back and a great job, a great season that is not quite over yet. Still a lot could happen, but it's going to be exciting to watch.
Yes, sir, it is. We definitely had a rocky start to it, and it's come around full circle, and I'm sitting in a good position, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, you are, as points leader. It doesn't get too much better than that. So, Justin, before we let you go and wrap things on up, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you because I know there's a lot of people you got to thank that makes this 98T so fast each week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Matt Say Speed Shop and Shop Fergie 22 Team CFM Esports, they're great. Anytime I want to load up and run an open race, I can always count on getting the setup from them and doing well. No matter what split I'm in, I've always done well with their stuff. Me and Blake, we've worked together a lot in the past, and he's helped me a lot with my driving, and that's helped immensely in all aspects of it. So all the guys at Team CFM Esports and Matt Say Speed Shop, I appreciate them. Sweet Victory Apparel, Victory Lane Racing, WR1 Sim Chassis, Tech 3 Defense, Spartan Transportation, Say High Performance, Vic Hill Racing Engine, Sim Magic, Sim Motion US, and you for doing the broadcast every week. I appreciate it. I like having something to go back and watch, because there's stuff that I don't get to see while I'm in the race, and I can go back to the broadcast and catch things that I miss. And Zach and everybody here at ASRC, thank you all so much for giving us a place to race on Sunday nights.
Alrighty, Justin, always a pleasure talking to you once again. Congrats on the runner-up finish. Can't wait to see how this rest of the season shakes on out. Justin, have a great rest of your night.
You too, Brett. You too, buddy.
Alrighty, folks, that's our points leader leaving Lincoln, finishing in the runner-up spot. But we'll talk to the guy that finished one spot better for the first time this season. Trevor Mattingly parks it down in victory lane. Trevor, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, Trevor. Finally get the job done, able to park it here, I guess on the infield here tonight. How does it feel, first and foremost?
It feels good to finally get the dub. It's we're 9 races in, and it was looking like it wasn't gonna happen, but we got it done.
Yeah, and a tough one as that, because tonight it started off not so easy. You and Justin Thompson putting on a show in the heat race. Thompson just getting you there at the start finish line, but then in the feature time you turned it on up and showed why you're one of the best, especially through that slick stuff at the bottom.
Yeah, me and Justin were talking. That was super fun through the heat race. He found something on the bottom there and drove right around me, and I had to ended up getting a nose under him, and we raced it out from there. And when you can race like that with somebody side by side and know that and have confidence that they're gonna run a good line and you can run a line too, it's fun. There ain't much that beats it. And then through the feature there, I think Justin was saving tires a little bit, and I got him on the high side run there off 3 and 4. And after that, I feel lucky that the race wasn't no longer, because I think he was going to run me down, or Zach or Nick, both of them. I think they had pretty good tires left and were on the way to the front. My stuff was pretty burnt off. I was 100% from the start. I was going for it.
Wow, that is impressive, Trevor. Luckily, tonight's race was only 60 laps, so able to park it down in victory lane. But I got to ask, Trevor, this place really demanding. You got to hit your marks whether you're running that bottom or running that top. We see multiple drivers hit either the inside wall or jump that cushion, especially in 1 and 2. and make hard contact with that wall. I mean, what did it take? How'd you keep those nerves of steel under you for those 60 laps?
I've honestly always liked the technical tracks, lead sport, this track. There's a few others. The wide open, hammer down, just whoever can go the fastest. I've never really enjoyed those as much as these technical little tracks, and you gotta focus in and get up on the wheel, and you gotta hit your marks like you said, because if you don't, just a little mistake, the guy behind you, if he hits his mark, he's catching you within 3 or 4 kart lengths every straightaway if you're not hitting your marks right. And there at the end, I wasn't hitting the middle right there, and Justin would catch me, and then the next corner I would hit and pull from him, and it all depends on if you can hit the line right every time. And these little tracks really demand for it, because before you know it, you're turning again into the next corner, and if you can't get them down and get in a rhythm, it's hard.
Yeah, that it is. But luckily, Trevor, you're one of the best guys to do it, especially here at ASRC. Very few mistakes I've ever seen from the 13T. I have a few, that I save on up just in case, but they are very rare. And tonight, you put on another clinic, picking up your first win of the season. I mean, we got to look at big picture, of course, talk a little bit about it. The points battle between you and Justin, able to notch another point down. Now the difference is 6 with 3 races to go.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving it all I got, but he ain't gonna give it to me, that's for sure. So it ought to be fun. We're gonna see what USA brings, because that track's really different. It's really big and really hammered down. It's a really technical track, but it's also a really hammered down fast track. So it's fun. So we'll see. We're gonna try to do it again next week.
Yep, and USA's got a pretty big asterisk next to it, with it being our shortest race on the schedule, only 35 laps. I assume most people will be hammered down 100% from the drop of the green flag there.
Yeah, I kind of wish that we would race some more laps on that, but I don't make the rules, and I can't complain too bad with these guys. So 35 laps is definitely going to be hammered down, and qualifying is going to be important. So we'll definitely see what we got. Hopefully the line will change a little bit within that 35 laps. Maybe we can burn it in warm-ups or something. But we'll see what we can do. I like USA, so I'm looking forward to it.
That's a good sign for you, because then, USA, linear, and then our big season finale, dirt track of Charlotte. It's going to be a great time. But Trevor, we'll let you get going, continue celebrating down in Victory Lane. But before we do, first time this season down in Victory Lane. I know there's a lot of people you got to thank, either watching at home or on the car. That makes us sing so quick every week.
Yes, sir. I got to first and foremost thank you for the broadcast, and Zach and Dave and all them guys over at ASRC for putting on the league. Got to thank Aaron at FMS Rapid Graphixs. He does killer jobs on these reps. HotLap Heros, all them guys. Justin, got to congratulate him on the second place, and Nick on the third. Their teammates, all the guys over at Kentucky, Cameron, Jordan, Nick, and all of them guys. Got to thank Bobby and Tanner. Everything they do help me out with go-kart stuff. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do that stuff. That's definitely 2-3 person job. Got to thank Snap-on. Who else is on the car? TNT Racing Engines, T-Mat Speed Shop. I think that's about it, man.
Alrighty, Trevor. Always a pleasure talking to you. And once again, huge congrats on the win here tonight. I know it means a lot to you to once again keep a streak rolling, winning every season you've been in so far. So, Trevor, you have a great rest of your night, and we'll catch you next week at USA.
All right, man. See you.
Alrighty, folks. That was our race winner, Trevor Mattingly, picking up his first win of the season. And let's get things wrapped on up and get us on out of here at a decent time here tonight. Of course, before wrapping on up and running through tonight's finishing results, we got to, of course, thank all of our series sponsors, that being on the right side of your screen. We got Horsepower Happening, TNT Racing Engines, the American All-Star Crate Late Model Series, Pay to Win Setups, FMS Rapid Graphixs, and of course HotLap Heros. Also got to give a huge shout out to all the drivers out here putting on the show for all of us to enjoy, and of course the fans at home tuning on in. Whether you're tuning on in here live, I see 7 of you guys, or any of the replay viewers. So let's run through tonight's finishing order as Trevor Mattingly picks up the win in the 13T, and finishing second, our points leader walking out of here tonight, Justin Thompson in the 98T. Nick Baum in the 02 will finish third and be the biggest mover of the night, up 18 spots from where he started, with Zach Nichols in the 240 rolling off fourth and rounding out the top 5. Last week's winner, Shane Yates in the 11. 6th going to the 37 of Brandon Marlowe. 7th is Ron the Hitman Hart in the 51. 8th is the 38 of Dave Payne. A great night for him inside the top 10. 9th is Cade Gailey in the 27 machine. Rounding out the top 10, Stephen Hoffman in the 23. 11th going to Jason Crow in the 27. 12th is Ethan Bryan in the 28. 13th is Bobby Malley in the 3M. 14th is Aaron Kirby in the 55. 15th going to the double OH of Tanner Hutchins. 16th is Jacob Smith in the 888. 17th, and a tough break tonight for a lot of these drivers in the bottom half, Dan Lloyd in the 9. He was walking away with the quick time award here tonight. 18th going to Cam Tucker in the 53, able to rebound after being on his lid. He'll finish 18th. 19th going to Kenny Haight in the 46. 20th is the 151 of Jacob Lester. 21st, Clay Atwood in the 111, and Mark Mitchell in the 07, rounding out tonight's finishing A main result. So, folks, that will do it for me from Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to tune into Turn 3 throughout the week, as we have a lot of great broadcasters, a lot of great series covering a lot of great virtual racing. I have been Brett the Jet, and we'll catch you next week at USA. I just flew by you. Have a good one.
The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the Championship Points Fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.